This is not a metaphor. This is the final sign. The fact that you clicked on this video at this exact moment in space-time is the quantum event you have been waiting for. This is based on the physics of quantum decoherence and the observer effect. Your timeline is not a path you walk. It is a wave of potential that collapses into reality based on a catalyst of observation. This video is that catalyst. Over the next hour, you will not just learn about this profound shift, you will undergo it. I will give you the Great Timeline Unlock Protocol, a sequence designed to consciously complete the transition you feel is already happening, moving you from a state of anxious waiting into one of deliberate creation. To understand the power of this moment, we must first look at the strange and beautiful rules of the universe itself. Physicists who study the quantum realm know that a fundamental particle, like an electron, does not exist in a single place until it is measured. Before observation, it is a cloud of probability, a smear of pure potential, occupying all possible positions simultaneously. This is called superposition. It is in 1,000 places at once. It is a wave of infinite futures. But the moment a conscious observer decides to measure it, to look for it, that wave of potential collapses. Instantly, the electron chooses a single point in space and time to become real. The 1,000 possibilities become one actuality. The act of observation is the act of creation. Your life has been in superposition. For weeks, months, maybe even years, you have been on the verge of a dozen different futures. A future where you take the leap. A future where you stay. A future where you become the person you were born to be. And a future where you remain a ghost in your own life. All of these timelines have existed as potent waves of probability around you. Your intuition, that deep inner knowing that you can't logically explain, has been guiding you here, to this moment, to make the final measurement, to collapse the wave. If you have felt this sense of imminent change, and this message is already confirming your intuition, hit the like button right now. It signals your readiness for this activation. It is your first conscious act of measurement. And you have felt it, haven't you? That strange, almost unbearable tension in the air, a bizarre mixture of intense, groundless excitement and a deep, humming anxiety. The feeling that your entire identity, everything you thought you were, is about to dissolve into thin air. You've experienced the frustration, the endless cycle of seeing the signs, the repeating numbers, the synchronicities, the uncanny coincidences, only to wake up the next morning in the same bed, in the same reality, with the same problems knocking at your door. This is not you failing to manifest. This is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. This is the unmistakable symptom of the old timeline reaching its final, sputtering reel. You've felt it when you wake up in the morning, and for a fleeting moment, you feel like a stranger in your own life. You look at your hands, your home, your relationships, and a voice inside whispers, "How did I get here? This isn't mine." That is the dissonance of your consciousness already beginning to inhabit the new timeline, while your physical body is still playing out the last scenes of the old one. You've felt it in your ambitions, the goals that once drove you, the career you painstakingly built, the desires that once burned so brightly, now feel hollow. They feel like clothes you've outgrown, a script written for someone else. This isn't depression or apathy. This is your soul refusing to expend any more energy, animating a role it is finished playing. And you have most certainly felt it in the chaos, the sudden, often jarring events that seem to come out of nowhere, clearing the board of your life, the job that ends unexpectedly, the relationship that dissolves overnight, the plans that crumble to dust. You have been interpreting this as setback and loss. It is not. It is the demolition crew clearing the set of your old reality because it can no longer be sustained. To make sense of this, you must adopt a new metaphor for reality itself. Imagine your life is a film being projected onto the screen of space-time. The universe and/or source consciousness is the projector. A timeline is not a path. It is a single, complete reel of film. For a very long time, you have been living inside one specific movie. It has a title, a plot, a cast of characters, one, and a central protagonist, you, or rather, the version of you that belongs to that story. You have been the character in the film. All the feelings you're having, the anxiety, the disorientation, the sense of an impending end, are the physical signs that this particular film is burning out. The reel is old and brittle, it's sputtering in the projector gate, the image on the screen flickers, the audio warps, the story begins to skip and tear. The chaos you're seeing in your life are the burn marks appearing on the celluloid. The film is reaching its conclusion. It is losing its integrity because you, the consciousness that gives it life, are preparing to leave the theater. This transmission, this protocol, is the moment where you stop being the character hypnotized by the story on the screen. It is the moment you wake up. By the end of this transmission, you will no longer be a character in the movie. You will not even be a passive member of the audience. You will be standing by the projector, aware of its mechanics, its light, and its power. You will be ready to gently stop the old, sputtering reel and consciously load the new one. The reel for your greatest timeline. A film that has been waiting in the archives of infinity for you to finally be ready to play it. You are about to shift from passive audience to conscious director, from an effect of your reality to its very cause, so you felt it. The old film sputtering, the strange sense that the movie of your life has reached its final scenes. But a question has been tormenting you, a whisper in the quiet moments. If it's over, why is it still playing? Why do you keep waking up on the same set, with the same characters, reading from the same script? The answer is not psychological. It is physical. To understand why you have been stuck, you must first understand the physics of the film. You have been taught to think of time as a single, linear track, a railroad stretching from a fixed past to a singular future. This is a profound misunderstanding of reality's architecture. Quantum physics, particularly through frameworks like the many worlds interpretation, suggests a radically different model. Imagine the universe not as a railroad, but as an infinite broadcast spectrum, like a radio dial. Every possible reality, every potential timeline, is already broadcasting right now on its own unique frequency. There is a timeline where you became a celebrated artist. There is a timeline where you moved to that city you always dreamed of. There is a timeline where the great love you thought you lost is thriving. They are not dreams, they are not fantasies, they are stable, coherent, broadcasting frequencies, complete realities. Your consciousness is the receiver. Your emotional and vibrational state is the tuner. You have simply been locked onto a single station for a very long time. Let's call it 98.7, the familiar struggle. The music is predictable, the news is always the same, and the host is your inner critic. Your greatest timeline is broadcasting right now, with perfect clarity, on a different frequency. Let's call it 104.5 Sovereign Creation FM. Shifting timelines is not about struggling forward on the single railroad track. It is not about building a new future brick by painful brick. It is simply about changing the station. It is an act of retuning the receiver of your consciousness from the old, static-filled broadcast to the new, crystal-clear one. A timeline, then, is not a story that unfolds. It is a stable frequency band that you inhabit. A coherent, energetic state that dictates everything you perceive, from the people you meet, to the thoughts you think, to the opportunities that appear before you. So you might be asking, how do timeline shifts work on a practical level? It starts by understanding the inertia of your current timeline, the reason your radio dial feels stuck. This is the central problem, the great obstacle you have been facing. It's a concept we will call timeline inertia. Your current reality has energetic momentum. Think of our quantum film projector again. The reel of your old life is massive, heavy, and has been spinning for decades. It has accumulated immense rotational force. When you decide you want to change, you can't just expect that colossal reel to stop on a dime. The energy that keeps it spinning is composed of three primary forces. First, your subconscious beliefs. These are the code etched into the film itself, the foundational logic of that reality. Second, your habits and routines. These are the well-oiled gears of the projector, grooves worn so deep that playing the same movie every day is the path of least resistance. And third, the collective energetic agreements around you, the beliefs and expectations of your family, your friends, your society. They are the powerful sound system in the theater, blasting the soundtrack of the old movie so loud it's hard to hear anything else. This inertia is why the shift feels so difficult. It's why you can have a moment of profound spiritual clarity, only to wake up the next morning feeling like nothing has changed. You are not fighting your own weakness. You are pushing against the physics of a deeply entrenched energetic system. For a moment, just notice what part of your old story feels the most brittle, the most ready to dissolve right now. This timeline inertia is the precise reason why all your previous attempts to change have felt so frustrating, so futile. You have been using the wrong tools because you diagnosed the wrong problem. You thought you had to change the character when you needed to change the film. Let's examine 3 of the most common failed strategies. You've likely tried them all. First, affirmations. You stood in the mirror, looking at a character on the set of Not Enough, and you tried to force them to say the line, "I am abundant." You were trying to record a new audio track over a film that was already printed, scored, and playing at full volume. The visual data, the emotional data, the entire energetic signature of the film screamed scarcity, while your voice whispered abundance. The result is not a new reality. The result is cognitive dissonance. It's a profound energetic conflict that leaves you feeling like a liar in your own mind, because the signal of your affirmation is drowned out by the powerful carrier wave of the timeline you actually inhabit. The second failed strategy, visualization. You would sit for hours, closing your eyes and flawlessly projecting a mental image of your desired reality, the beautiful home, the loving relationship, the thriving business. You were, in essence, watching the trailer for a different movie. It felt good. It felt real. But when you opened your eyes, the old set was still there, the old projector was still running, and the inertia of that reality would immediately pull your point of observation right back into its familiar orbit. Visualization alone, without understanding the mechanics of switching the film reel itself, is like visiting a theme park based on another movie. It's a wonderful escape, but at the end of the day, you have to go back to the reality that is actually being projected. And the third strategy, perhaps the most exhausting of all, acting as if. You bought the expensive clothes. You walked with a confident posture. You tried to make decisions that the new you would make, but you were an actor in the wrong play. You were trying to perform a Shakespearean monologue on the set of a sitcom. The props didn't match your lines. The other characters didn't know their cues. The entire energetic environment resisted your performance because you were an anomaly. It felt inauthentic and draining precisely because you were expending massive amounts of energy trying to change the performance of a single character, fundamentally misunderstanding that your power lies not in being a better actor, but in choosing a completely different film. This brings us to the nature of the sign you have been waiting for. You have been taught to look for mundane signs, a feather on the sidewalk, repeating numbers on the clock, a song on the radio that speaks to your soul. These are beautiful things. They are echoes from other frequencies, gentle winks from the universe confirming that other broadcasts, other timelines, exist. They are like movie posters in the lobby of the cosmic cinema, showing you what else is playing. They confirm potential, but they do not initiate change. They are passive reassurances, not active catalysts. A true quantum sign, the final sign, is not a whisper. It is an interruption. It is a rupture in the fabric of the old reality. In the language of our metaphor, a true sign is the sound of the film tearing. It's a glitch in the projection. It's a moment where a frame gets stuck in the gate and begins to burn, filling the theater with the smell of melting celluloid. That glitch, that unexpected interruption, breaks the hypnotic spell of the narrative. It shatters the timeline inertia. For the first time, the audience, you, is forced to look away from the story on the screen and become aware of the projection mechanism itself. A quantum catalyst sign is a pattern interrupt so profound, so jarring, that it momentarily halts the momentum of the old reel, giving you the one thing you've been missing, a window of opportunity to stop the machine. This transmission, this video you are experiencing right now, was engineered from its first second to be that interruption. Its structure, its language, its core frequency is designed to be the anomaly that glitches your old timeline, the tear in the film that finally gets your attention and makes the change you've been dreaming of not just possible, but inevitable. For years, perhaps for lifetimes, the fundamental premise of your spiritual work has been based on a subtle but profound misunderstanding. You have been trying to change the character. You have spent countless hours, immense energy, and an ocean of intention trying to make the person you see in the mirror into someone new. You've used affirmations to change the character's lines. You've used visualizations to change the character's circumstances. You have tried to force the character to feel differently, act differently, be different, and you have felt the immense friction of that process, the exhaustion, the deep, quiet hopelessness that comes after 1,000 attempts to rewrite a script that seems determined to play out the same scenes over and over again. You have been fighting a battle on the wrong field. You have been trying to solve an equation without understanding the nature of the variables. You have been looking at the movie screen, at the story unfolding, and believing that the character on that screen is you, that your entire identity, your power, your very existence is bound up within the narrative of that film. But what if that was the grand illusion? What if the struggle, the inertia, the reason nothing truly fundamentally changes is because you have mistaken your identity? You have been trying to fix a shadow on the wall without realizing you are the one casting it. Take a breath. Let that settle. The central revelation, the paradigm shift that unlocks everything, is not a technique. It is not a process. It is a remembrance of your true nature. Prepare for it, because once you hear this, you cannot unhear it. Once you see this, you cannot unsee it. You have been trying to rewrite the script for a character in a movie. The great revelation is this: you are not the character. You are not even the director standing behind the camera. You are the pure light of the projector. You are the light, the silent, formless, brilliant illumination that shines through the film, giving it the appearance of life. The character on the screen, with all its history, its wounds, its triumphs, its fears, it is a pattern on a strip of celluloid. It has no life of its own. It is your light, your consciousness, that makes it appear real. The film doesn't define you. You are what makes the film visible. What if the work wasn't about building the new timeline, but simply about giving yourself permission to let the old one finally end? Let this sink into the very marrow of your being. This changes everything. It reframes every spiritual concept you have ever learned, every effort you have ever made. This means you do not have to fight the old character. This means you don't need to heal it, fix it, or transform it. All that struggle against your old self, the wrestling with old habits, the shame over past mistakes, that was the character fighting its own script. As the light, you have a different power. A power not of force, but of focus. You simply withdraw your illumination from that film. You stop giving it your energy, your attention, your belief. The character doesn't die. It just ceases to be animated. The movie stops playing because the light has been turned away. There is no battle. There is only a choice of where to shine. This means you don't need to build a new timeline from scratch. Imagine the immense, exhausting work of trying to construct a new reality piece by piece. That is what the character tries to do. But you, as the light, have access to an infinite archive of films that have already been created. Your greatest timeline already exists. It is a perfect, pristine, unplayed film reel waiting in the quantum field. It is not something you have to painstakingly construct. It is something you simply have to select. The dream career, the profound love, the vibrant health. Those realities are fully formed, waiting for one thing: for you to choose to illuminate them with your consciousness. This means all the effort, the struggle, the pushing, the grinding. It was all wasted energy. It was the equivalent of the projector's light trying to get down off the wall and physically rearrange the actors in the scene. Your power is not in manipulation. Your power is in illumination. Your only job is to decide which film to play. The very foundation of spiritual struggle is built on the mistaken identity of being the character. The moment you remember you are the light, the concept of struggle becomes absurd. Why would the light struggle? It simply shines. The where is a matter of choice, not effort. And this means your greatest timeline isn't something you have to earn or become worthy of. This is the most profound freedom of all. The character believes it must go on a hero's journey, slay its dragons, and prove its worthiness to deserve the happy ending. The light knows that all timelines, all possibilities, are equally available. Worthiness is a concept that exists only within the script of a film. It does not apply to the light that makes the film play. Your greatest timeline is not a reward for good behavior. It is your default, natural state of being once you stop pouring your energy into the lesser versions of reality. It is your birthright, waiting for you to claim it by simply shining upon it. This is how to shift to your desired timeline, not through brute force, but through a profound and permanent change in identity. The shift you have been seeking is not a difficult, bone-jarring jump from one reality to another. It is not an arduous climb up a metaphysical mountain. It is an effortless change of focus. Imagine you are in a dark room with two movie screens. For your entire life, you have been staring at the screen on your left and completely absorbed in the drama playing out. You believe it is the only reality. Shifting timelines is not about trying to run up to that screen and change the movie. It is simply turning your head to look at the screen on your right. That's it. It is an act of withdrawing your attention, your focus, your belief, your light, from what is unwanted, and gently, calmly placing it upon what is. The feeling of force, of struggle, that is the feeling of the character, the feeling of allowing, of illuminating, of choosing, that is the feeling of the source. It is a quiet pivot, a gentle release, a decisive yet peaceful reorientation of your consciousness. There is no violence in it, no struggle, just a simple, powerful choice. Your new identity is this: the source, the awareness, the light. The old model of reality was, I am a person who is trying to create my reality. This model implies separation. It implies a creator and a creation. It implies effort is needed to bridge the gap. The new model, the true model, is this: I am the awareness that makes reality possible. There is no separation. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean in a drop. Realities, timelines, experiences, these are not things you create out there. They are possibilities that you illuminate from within. You are the constant. The timelines are the variables. Live from this place. Breathe from this place. From this moment forward, you are not the person experiencing the timeline. You are the consciousness choosing to light it up. This is the master key. This is the revelation that precedes the final activation. You are the light. And now, it is time to choose which film you will play. This isn't just a theory. You are the light, and you have already started to withdraw your focus from the old film. The proof is not in some distant future. The proof is here, now, in the so-called problems of your present reality. They are not problems. They are artifacts. They are glitches in the old code, appearing as that timeline loses its structural integrity. You have likely been misinterpreting these glitches as setbacks, as signs that you are failing. I'm here to tell you they are the definitive, final signs that you have already succeeded. They are the symptoms of the old film dissolving. Let's decode the three most powerful signs right now, signs you have almost certainly been experiencing. The first, and most dramatic d'audience, is what I call the chaos catalyst. This is a sudden, often shocking wave of external disruption. It feels like the universe has pulled the rug out from under you. It can be a relationship ending abruptly, a job loss that comes out of nowhere, a financial crisis that seems insurmountable, or a health challenge that forces everything to a screeching halt. Your logical mind, trained by the old script, immediately labels this as a catastrophe. It screams, "This is wrong, I'm going backward, my life is falling apart." But from the perspective of the quantum projectionist, this is not a collapse, it is a demolition. Imagine the film of your old life has reached its final scene. To load the new reel, the entire set from the previous movie must be struck. The props must be cleared, the backdrops torn down, the entire soundstage emptied to make way for the magnificent production of your greatest timeline. The chaos catalyst is the universe sending in the demolition crew. The job you secretly hated, the one that was a cornerstone of your old identity but a cage for your soul. It has to go. The relationship that was built on the frequency of your past self, a frequency you no longer hold, it must be lovingly dismantled. The financial structures that kept you playing small, they must be liquidated. This chaos is not a punishment. It is the most profound act of grace. It is the universe clearing the stage for you, because you, as the light, have withdrawn your energy from that scene. The old set can no longer be sustained by your focus, and so it crumbles. A client of mine, let's call her Amelia, had built her entire identity around being a high-powered attorney in a prestigious firm. It was her identity, her family's pride, her measure of success. But for years, she felt a deep, gnawing emptiness. The light was dimming on that film. She wanted to be a healer, to work with energy, but saw no logical way out. Then, the chaos catalyst arrived. Due to a corporate merger, her entire department was eliminated. Her six-figure salary, her corner office, her identity, gone overnight. She was devastated, terrified. Her old script told her she was a failure. But through this work, she reframed it. This was not an ending. This was a demolition. The gilded cage had been torn down for her. The chaos wasn't the problem. It was the answer to a prayer she had been too afraid to voice. Freed from the inertia of that old timeline, she used her severance to get certified in the healing modality she'd only dreamed of. Today, she runs a practice that fills her with a sense of purpose she never knew was possible. The chaos was the catalyst. It was the demolition crew making way for the new set. In the comments, share which of these dissolving timeline signs you've experienced in the last few weeks. Your story will be the final piece of evidence for someone else in this community. The second sign of the old film dissolving is identity amnesia. This is a profoundly unsettling internal experience. You wake up one morning, you look in the mirror, and a quiet, persistent thought arises. I don't know who I am anymore. The goals that once drove you suddenly feel hollow. The passions that defined you now seem like hobbies belonging to a stranger. The relationships you poured your energy into feel distant, as if you're watching them through glass. This isn't depression, although it is often misdiagnosed as such. Depression is a state of powerlessness. This is a state of formlessness. It is the ultimate proof that you, the light, have stopped illuminating the character you used to play. The script for that character has run out of lines. And you are no longer animating the puppet. The emptiness you feel is not a void. It is a space. It is the sacred clearing that precedes the embodiment of your true, infinite self. The old identity has to dissolve before the new one can crystallize. You have to forget who you thought you were to remember who you truly are. Think of it this way. The actor who played Hamlet for years on stage must go through a period of unbecoming Hamlet before he can fully embody King Lear. He has to release the old mannerisms, the old thought patterns, the old emotional responses. Your identity amnesia is this process. You are letting go of a role you have played masterfully, a role that has served you, but a role that is now too small for the light that you are. That feeling of, I don't care about my old career anymore, or these friends don't feel like my friends anymore, is not you being negative or antisocial. It is your soul's honest recognition that the script has ended. The costume no longer fits. You are standing in the wings, naked and free, waiting for the new costume of your greatest timeline. Celebrate this amnesia. It is not a loss of self. It is a liberation from a limited self. The third and most metaphysical sign is extreme time dilation and synchronicities. Suddenly, the fabric of linear time begins to warp around you. Weeks fly by in what feels like days, or an hour can stretch on for what feels like an eternity. You experience intense moments of déjà vu, a feeling so strong it stops you in your tracks. And then come the synchronicities, the repeating numbers, 1111, 444, 222, appearing everywhere, on clocks, on license plates, on receipts. You think of an old friend and they call you a minute later. You have a question, and the answer appears on a billboard as you drive by. The old timeline's logic dismisses this as coincidence, as your brain's pattern recognition software on overdrive. But the quantum projectionist knows the truth. This is the sound of the old film slipping its sprockets. A timeline is held in place by a consistent predictable rhythm, a stable frequency. As you withdraw your light, that rhythm breaks down. The film begins to stutter and tear in the projector. In those tears, in those moments where the old film splits, two things happen. First, the steady linear progression of time is interrupted, causing the experience of time dilation. Second, and more importantly, light from the new reel, the reel of your greatest timeline, begins to bleed through the cracks. Those synchronicities, those number sequences, are not just cute signs from the universe. They are frames from the new movie. They are photons from your desired reality, making their way through the dissolving fabric of your old one. They are incontrovertible, physical proof that the new timeline is not just out there, waiting for you, but is already overlapping with and beginning to supersede your current experience. So what are the signs of a quantum jump? They are not what you think. They are not gentle whispers. They are the signs of the old world falling away, of its physics breaking down, evidenced by the chaos in your life, the dissolution of your identity, and the very tearing of time itself. These are not separate signs. They are a trinity of transformation, a perfect feedback loop confirming that your shift is not only happening, it is reaching its final stage. To help you anchor this, I want to give you a simple but powerful framework, a decoder lens. Use this every time one of these symptoms appears. When you experience the chaos catalyst, see it for what it is. Demolition. When you feel the wave of identity amnesia, celebrate it for what it is. Liberation. When you see the glitches in time and the flood of synchronicities, know it for what it is. Transmission. Demolition. Liberation. Transmission. This is not your life falling apart. This is your old reality being lovingly dismantled, your old identity being set free, and the data packets of your new reality being downloaded into your awareness. This is the final stage before the new film begins to play, uninterrupted. This is the proof that you have already arrived. You understand. You see the proof in your own life. Now, we move from intellectual understanding to direct, embodied experience. We perform the activation. This is the moment we stop the old projector and load the new film. This is not a visualization. This is a quantum operation. I need your full presence. Find a quiet space where you will not be disturbed for the next 10 minutes. Sit comfortably with your back straight, and when you are ready, gently close your eyes. This is the Great Timeline Unlock Protocol in action. Begin by bringing your awareness to your breath. Just a simple inhale and a slow exhale. You are here. You are now. You are safe. I want you to bring to mind your current reality, your life as it is today. Don't judge it. Don't analyze it. Simply see it. See it as a movie playing on a giant screen in front of you. The characters, the locations, the familiar plots, the repeated emotional scenes. This is the film that has been playing. Now, I want you to shift your perspective. Instead of being in the audience, nor even in the film itself, I want you to feel yourself behind the screen. Further back, feel yourself become the source of the light that is projecting that film onto the screen. You are not the image. You are the light. Feel that subtle shift in your identity right now. Feel the warmth, the power, the infinite stillness of being the source. From this place, you are simply illuminating a story that has served you, a story that has taught you. And now its final reel has played. It is time to withdraw your light. Consciously, lovingly, I want you to begin dimming your light. Feel the intensity of your focus gently receding from that film. The image on the screen begins to flicker. The colors start to fade. The sounds become distant echoes. You are not destroying it. You are not rejecting it. You are releasing it with gratitude. With each breath out, whisper a silent thank you to that old timeline. Thank you for the strength it gave you. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for bringing you to this exact moment of liberation. Thank you. And as you release it with love, the light dims further and further until the screen is completely peacefully dark. The old movie is over. Sit here for a moment in this profound stillness, this void. This is not emptiness. This is the space of all potential, the quantum field. You are pure consciousness in a silent, dark archive, and all around you, in this infinite space, you can begin to sense them, not with your eyes, but with your entire being. Countless reels of film, each one a perfectly complete, fully realized timeline, a potential reality. There are millions of them, billions. Do not try to look for the right one. The mind cannot choose from infinity. You must use a higher faculty. You must feel. Bring your awareness into your body, into your heart center, and I want you to tune into a frequency, the signature frequency of your greatest timeline. What does it feel like? Don't think about what it looks like, the car, the house, the relationship. Go deeper. Go to the core feeling, the feeling of absolute freedom. What is that in your body? Is it a lightness in your chest, an expansion in your shoulders, the feeling of profound, unconditional love? Does it feel like a warmth spreading through you? A gentle hum behind your ears, the feeling of vibrant, limitless energy and health. Is it a buzzing in your cells, a solid, grounded strength in your core, the feeling of effortless abundance and creative flow? Is it a sense of frictionless ease, a cool, calm certainty in your gut? Tune your entire being to this frequency. Let it become so clear, so strong, so undeniable. This feeling is the navigational beacon. As you anchor this new frequency, what one word defines the feeling of your greatest timeline? Don't think, just feel. Let that word rise up. Hold that feeling. Hold that word. Now from this archive of infinite potential, one reel begins to glow. It is vibrating at the exact same frequency you are now embodying. It is calling to you because it is you. You don't even have to move towards it. Your resonance draws it effortlessly into your hands. Feel its weight, its potential. This is the script. This is the reality. This is the life. And now, with reverence, you turn to the projector of your own consciousness. You open the gate, you remove the old or spent reel, and you place this new one inside. You thread the film. You can feel the new story, the new energy, locked in and ready. Everything has led to this single moment of choice. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, turn your light on, full blast. An explosion of pure, white, brilliant light floods from your being through the new film and onto the screen of reality. But you are not watching it. You are becoming it. Feel the light pouring through it, and feel yourself becoming one with the opening scene of this new timeline. You are not observing the feeling of joy. You are the joy. You are not witnessing peace. You are the peace. You are not watching abundance unfold. You are the source of that abundance. You are fully, completely illuminating and experiencing the first frame of your greatest timeline. Anchor this moment. What is the first breath like in this new reality? Take it now. Feel how it fills your lungs differently. What is the first feeling that rises in your heart? Let it flood your entire body. What is the first thought that forms in your mind? Notice its clarity, its power. Anchor this sensory data deep into your cells. This is your new energetic home. This is your new baseline. This is now more real than anything that came before it. Stay here, in this illumination, for as long as you need. And when you are ready, gently, slowly, begin to bring your awareness back to the feeling of the chair beneath you, back to the sounds in the room, and in your own time, you can open your eyes. Welcome. Welcome to the first day of your new timeline. Notice the room around you. It may look the same. The objects may be in the same place, but it is not the same. It is now illuminated by a different light, by you. Everything from this moment forward is the unfolding of the film you just chose to play. The activation is complete. You are no longer the character. You are the quantum projectionist. Your work now is simple. Keep the light on the new film, especially when the echoes of the old one try to distract you. The great revelation, the embodiment, these are the moments the new reel is loaded. But the days that follow are where mastery is forged. It requires a new kind of discipline, not the discipline of effort, but the discipline of focus. I am giving you 3 core protocols that are now part of your daily operation as the projectionist. They are not suggestions. They are the manual for your new identity. The first is called the daily illumination. This is your new non-negotiable 5-minute morning practice. The reason this is so critical is that sleep is a form of quantum reset. When you are unconscious, you drift back into the infinite potential field. Waking up is the first act of observation you make each day. For your entire life, your first act has been to unconsciously collapse reality back into the old timeline. You wake up, remember your problems, feel the old anxieties, and the old movie starts playing before your feet even touch the floor. The daily illumination interrupts this habit at the source. It ensures the very first signal you broadcast into the quantum field is the frequency of your greatest timeline. This practice reinforces the new neural pathways and strengthens the energetic signature of your new reality, making it the dominant frequency for the day. Here is how you perform it. Step 1. Before you open your eyes, before you check your phone, before you even think about the day ahead, you will remain still. Step 2. You will immediately recall the feeling you anchored during the activation. Not the details, not the pictures, the core resonant feeling, the word that rose up for you. Peace, expansion, freedom, joy. Whatever it was, you will find that feeling in your body again. It might be a warmth in your chest, a lightness in your head, a sense of stillness in your gut. Step 3. You will hold your entire focus on that feeling for 5 full minutes. Breathe into it. Let it expand with every inhale and settle with every exhale. You are not trying to manifest anything. You are not asking for anything. You are simply being the light that is tuned to this specific frequency. You are illuminating the new real before the day has a chance to force the old one upon you. The most common mistake to avoid here is trying to visualize. The mind will want to create pictures of the new life, the new car, the new relationship. This is the old way. It is an act of effort, of trying to build something that you feel you don't have. The new way is effortless. It is about embodying the frequency of the reality that already exists. The feeling is the cause. The physical reality is the effect. When you lock onto the feeling, the universe has no choice but to rearrange itself to provide a reality that matches it. The visuals will come later, as evidence, not as effort. What is one single action, no matter how small, that you will take in the next 24 hours that is only possible in your new timeline? Let that action emerge from this feeling. The second tool is for use during your day. It's called the focus collapse. This is your technique for the inevitable moment when the old timeline glitches back in. A negative thought pattern, a fearful reaction, an interaction with a person who only knows the old you. These are echoes. They are photons of light still bouncing around the old set. Even though the main projector has been turned off, your old conditioning will tempt you to engage with them, to fight them, to analyze them. But as the projectionist, you know that any attention you give them is a form of light. Fighting the old reality is still illuminating the old reality. The focus collapse is how you use the observer effect in real time to withdraw your energy and reinforce the new world. It is a simple, 3-second process. 1. Acknowledge. When the old thought or feeling arises, for example, the fear of scarcity, you do not resist it. You simply acknowledge its presence without judgment. You say internally, I see this echo of the old scarcity film. The key is to see it as an artifact, an echo, not as your current truth. This non-resistance stops you from energizing it with a fight. 2. Withdraw. This is a conscious act of pulling your light back. Imagine your focus is a beam of light shining on that old thought. Now visualize yourself pulling that beam back, away from the thought, leaving it in darkness. You are not destroying it. You are simply choosing not to give it the energy of your consciousness. It cannot exist without your light. 3. Re-illuminate. Immediately, and without hesitation, you place your focus back on the core feeling of your new timeline. You return to the feeling you cultivated during your daily illumination. You feel the expansion, the peace, the freedom, right there in that moment. You are changing the real in real time. The mistake to avoid is lethal, judging yourself for having the old thought in the first place. That judgment is a secondary energy leak that keeps you tethered to the old timeline. You are not failing when an old thought appears. You are succeeding every time you notice it and choose not to energize it. You will use this tool dozens of times a day at first. Each time you do, you are weakening the old timeline's inertia and strengthening the new one. Use it the instant you feel the pull of old patterns. Your third and final protocol is the evidence collection. This is your evening practice. It is designed to create a powerful, reinforcing feedback loop that accelerates the crystallization of your new reality. The quantum field responds to your focus. What you consistently look for, you will inevitably find. By consciously looking for evidence of your new timeline, you are telling the universe, yes, more of this, please. You are actively training your perception to see the new reality that is unfolding around you, which in turn causes it to unfold even faster. This is how you do it. Every evening before you sleep, you will open a journal or a note on your phone. You will title it New Timeline Evidence, and you will write down 3 things from your day that serve as proof that the new timeline is manifesting. They do not need to be monumental. In fact, at first, they will be small. A stranger smiling at you in a way they never used to. An unexpected discount on your coffee. Hearing a song on the radio that speaks directly to your new state of being. Finding a parking spot exactly when you need it. An idea that flows with ease. These are not coincidences. These are the first frames of the new movie beginning to render in your reality. The critical mistake to avoid here is dismissing these small signs. Your old identity, the character in the old movie, is an expert at dismissing magic as mere coincidence. It will tell you that doesn't count. Your job as the projectionist is to overrule that character, to understand that in quantum reality, there is no such thing as coincidence. There is only coincidence, events coinciding with your chosen frequency. The small signs are the foundation. By honoring them, by documenting them, you give them energetic substance and command the larger signs to appear. This practice closes your day in the frequency of your new reality, ensuring you drift into sleep with the signal of your greatest timeline as your final conscious act. The activation is done. The protocols are yours. Now you live. You go forward from this moment and live as the light. You move through your world with less effort and more allowance. You operate with a quiet, unshakable confidence that you are the source of your experience and not a victim of it. When challenges arise, you don't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" You ask, "Which timeline am I illuminating right now?" You have moved from being a passive audience member in the theater of your life, hoping for a better story, to being the one in the projection booth, consciously choosing the masterpiece you wish to experience. Your power was never in your hands, your words, or your actions. It was always in your focus. It was always in the light of your awareness. You have received the sign. You have completed the activation. You have been given the Great Timeline Unlock protocol. This hour was not about learning a concept. It was about undergoing a fundamental shift in your identity as a conscious creator. The person who began this video no longer exists, because that person was a character in a film that has now reached its final frame. You have stepped out of the audience, walked past the screen, and taken your rightful place as the source of the light. You are no longer waiting for the future. You are illuminating it into existence. This is mastery. This is sovereignty. This is the beginning of a life lived not by default, but by deliberate, divine design. Acknowledge yourself for this. Feel the truth of this accomplishment settling into your bones, recalibrating every cell to a new and higher frequency. The waiting is over. The work you thought you had to do is finished. Your new function is effortless. It is to be who you now know you are, the projector, the light, the source. But mastering your own projection is just the first step. It is a profound, life-altering, reality-defining first step, but it is not the final destination. Because your light, this brilliant, coherent beam of consciousness that you now command, does not shine in a vacuum. It shines out into a cosmos filled with other lights, a network of other projectors, each illuminating a timeline of their own choosing. For a long time, your light was diffused, flickering, projecting a film you didn't even consciously choose. Now it is a laser, focused, powerful, and broadcasting a very specific frequency, the frequency of your greatest timeline. What happens when your new timeline frequency, this coherent signal you are now broadcasting, begins to interact with other coherent signals in the field? What happens when your light meets another light of the exact same vibrational signature? This is where we move beyond personal manifestation and into the physics of soul family, of collective reality creation. This is the next horizon of your power as a creator. It's the understanding that you are not just building a new life, you are co-creating a new world. The films we project are not isolated events. They overlap, they interact, they harmonize, or they create dissonance. And when your greatest timeline of frequency meets the identical frequency in another being, a phenomenon occurs that physicists would call quantum resonance. This is not simple attraction, like two magnets clicking together. That is a primitive understanding. Quantum resonance is amplification. When two coherent waves of the same frequency meet, they don't just add to each other. They multiply each other's amplitude exponentially. This means your joy, when it meets the joy of your soul tribe, doesn't just double, it squares. Your abundance, when it resonates with the frequency of collective prosperity, creates a gravitational field of wealth that is orders of magnitude more powerful than what you could generate alone. Your peace, when it harmonizes with others anchored in that same peace, becomes a stabilizing force for the entire planetary consciousness. This is the secret. This is how the new Earth is not just manifested, but built. It is built by individual projectors who have mastered their own light, and who then find each other in the vastness of the quantum field, not by searching, but by resonating. Understanding this resonance is the key to magnetizing your true soul tribe to you effortlessly. They won't be drawn to the character you play. They will be drawn to the light you emit. To continue your integration into this new reality, subscribe and turn on all notifications. Our next video, Quantum Resonance Explained. How your frequency attracts your soul tribe, PAIS, is designed to stabilize and expand your new timeline frequency, and you cannot afford to miss it. It is the necessary next step in your journey as a conscious architect of reality. We will not stop there. Once you understand the mechanics of interpersonal resonance, we must explore the larger structures these connections create. That's why the very next transmission is called Quantum Resonance Explained, how your frequency attracts your soul tribe. In it, we will move from theory to application. We will explore the science of how your new timeline acts as a broadcast signal, a cosmic calling card that makes you undeniably visible to those who are a vibrational match. We will give you the tools to fine-tune that signal, to remove any remaining static from your old timeline, and to become a clear, powerful beacon for the relationships, opportunities and synchronicities that belong to your new reality. After that, we will go even deeper into a subject that most are not ready for, with collective timelines are more real than you think. Here's the proof. This is where we begin to understand how entire worlds are born and how we can consciously participate in the greatest timeline shift in human history. This is your new curriculum. Go forward from this moment. Go forward from this sacred space of activation, not as someone hoping for a better life, but as the light source that creates it. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are the context in which circumstance arises. You are no longer praying for a sign. You are the event that makes reality shift. Your only job is to shine. Your only task is to remember what you are. When doubt arises, when the echoes of the old film flicker at the edge of your vision, do not fight them. Simply remember that you are the light and turn up your own brightness. Illuminate the reality you desire with such unwavering focus and feeling that any lesser reality is cast into shadow and dissolves into nothingness. Watch as the universe, in its infinite intelligence, rearranges itself to match the movie you have chosen to play. Your greatest timeline is no longer coming. It is here. It is now. It is you.